Hey, hey, what's good? It's your boy, freshly done with the Lakers Universe team. Just coming to you, giving you a little bit more backstory, more of a story about the long awaited, long anticipated teaming up, not of Westbrook and LeBron, but of the phenomenal Carmelo Anthony and LeBron James finally bringing it together. You know what I'm saying? Uh, for some of you guys, this might not be it might be insignificant, might not be major, but for the culture of basketball, as well as the people who've been watching basketball for a period of amount of time, at least for 20 years plus 15 years, watching these guys develop, watching what these guys have brought to the game, inside of the game, outside of the game, whether it's philanthropy, stuff that they've done for the hip hop culture or other cultures around or worldwide, things that they've contributed. It's very important, just to see what these players do, inside and outside of the game while they're playing together. Uh, just to give you guys a little bit of a history, both of these guys drafted in the 2003 NBA draft class. They're probably the last few left, um, which is unfortunate. You want to see players have a long, illustrious NBA career, but these guys have been able to continue to play, and they're showing that they're able to play at a high level. Of course, with LeBron and Melo just making a phenomenal phoenix of a resurrection, for him to have a season or two taken away from him that was not deserved, and for him to come back and just be able to show people that the man still got the. Um, like I said, diving back into these guys' NBA careers, and basketball careers in general. One hailing from Oak Hill, going into Syracuse, winning the NCAA championship. The other just coming straight out of high school, going into the NBA, making big waves. Both players just phenomenal players. Really good candidates for Rookie of the Year. Unfortunately, only one of them was able to win. Uh, One going to Cleveland, playing for the Cavaliers, the other one going to play for the Denver Nuggets. Both did big things for the market. LeBron did a lot of things for that Cleveland market. Carmelo had everybody wearing that baby blue and gold, baby. And they just pretty much rocked the NBA. From that, both guys playing in the Olympics with an unsuccessful season for their first year, their first opportunity of playing in the Olympics, representing the USA. Being that unfortunate team, but then being able to bring it back on the redeemed team. But outside of that, moving it back to the NBA, LeBron James playing his heart out in Cleveland. For one of his last few seasons in Cleveland before he first left, he was able to take him to the mountaintop, playing against the Spurs with an unsuccessful season and having to be sent back home without a ring. And then after that, making the decision to move to Miami, where he's able to find success and really find leadership, find a means of leadership, and be able to lead a team and know how to galvanize players in so many different ways. While he was in Miami, I think he learned so many things that a lot of players in their NBA careers hope they could have learned, and on their fast track to be able to get an NBA championship. And as far as Carmelo, he had a really grueling career where his talent bloomed, but he didn't find the same success as his counterpart. And after his time was done in Denver, he moved on to bigger and better things, going to his hometown. Well, not necessarily his hometown, but the closest thing to his hometown in New York Knickerbockers, baby. And upon getting there, the man just set the city on fire. Really rekindled, the stuff that was lost in the garden, trying to make the team a better team. And they've had a lot of good runs in his time there. And since then, they've just now rekindled that same kind of energy with Julius Randle being on that team. After that, a series of situations over in New York led Carmelo to move to other teams, going from there to Houston, to Oklahoma, and then to the Blazers, which was a team that he was playing for last. But upon digging, many of you players know, or you watchers, or whatever you may call yourself, historians or people who just are connoisseurs of the game, understood that why this is such a long anticipated team up is because around the time when Melo was getting ready to leave New York, there was a possibility that he was supposed to be going to Cleveland to go play with LeBron when he had first came back to Cleveland and won that NBA championship. There was, a lot of talks, rumors, so to speak, about Paul George after coming back from his horrible leg break, and that guy is an amazing player. For him to suffer such a big injury and be able to come back and still play phenomenally, still play as a top-tier player in the NBA, I don't think there's any record of any player coming back from an injury that severe and being able to perform so well after his injury is healed. That speaks volumes. You have a lot of players who haven't recovered from those types of injuries that were much smaller and not as taxing mentally. But back to the players at hand, you have, a deal that's supposed to be brokered with that sends Carmelo Anthony, who is at the time, he's still, really, really, really top tier player. A lot of people still believing in his abilities, and he's supposed to be joining his good friend LeBron James over in Cleveland to go ahead and head against this monster of a team in Golden State, who is well deserving of all the things that, man, this is getting too long and arduous. But just to give you some backstory, there were stories of that. The deal was blocked. The deal was inked. You can find that at kind of like in the clicks below, where you'll see comments about what Melo has said, what PG has said. You don't really hear LeBron talking about the deal that was being brokered, but you do hear the other two players really talking about how the deal was pretty much done. Moving on, like I said, you had Melo bouncing around teams. You have LeBron, constantly battling it out with Golden State, trying to get himself another ring, or at least multiple rings, while he's playing against this monster of a team. And after he felt that his time was done, he decided to move on to the City of Angels, where we make magic happen, baby. Not just that was a pun though. You ain't even see that. You ain't even seen that. Moving on. Melo once again, bouncing around teams, had a couple of seasons taken away from him for just not well-known reasons. But he gets his opportunity back at basketball, playing with Damian Lillard, at a reduced role that he was expected to play, being a starter. Even though he has still starter quality skills, he came off the bench, did magic, and had his career rekindled. And then, at the end of last season, the 2020-2021, he moved on to better things in the City of Angels, which, brought him back together with his friend from a deal that should have been broken years ago. But all's well that ends well, and if everything goes according to plan, another championship on the way, baby. Lakers universe. Peace.
We ain't even gotta say it. Championships ain't even that complicated. We got 17, no reason to be explaining. Just give me King James, choir's overrated. Yeah. We got Westbrook, who's was traded. So was Pope and Montrezl, I know they hate it. LeBron James, Melo, and Russ, and Anthony Davis. We are the Lakers and we never can be faded. Do you wanna be a Laker with me? If not, you can stay on your sorry ass weak team. We willing to give you all this money we got. So pick up your phone when Pelinka call. We just want to win championships, that's all, Lakers.